Hey, today on Dr. Smoke, wait, what are we doing, Dad?
We're building the Peak Prime, GMG, the new one. Stay tuned, guys. Whoa, look at this beauty.
So big.
Oh my goodness. It looks like they've definitely changed their packaging. And what did they do? We got an easy assembly guide, which is supposed to be right there. Starter box, and a new owner's guide. So let's start opening this thing up, Emma.
Yep.
Front shelf.
Yep.
Starter box, your manual, toolkit, antennas, meat probes. So they've really done a nice job with changing the packaging design. Much easier to get to everything.
We got a drip bucket.
Front shelf bracket. Your adjustment rod for your firebox with marks on it. Power cord. Your mounting hardware. These are going to be the build video for the Peak and the Ledge, which replaces the Daniel Boone and the Jim Bowie. Again, the only differences between these two grills, and we're going to look at that, is going to be the name and the logo. Save this packaging because you're going to put this back on top when you flip the grill to put the legs on, and we're going to do that real quick. It's just like the build for any other of the GMG smokers. Slit all four corners of this box about a quarter of the way up. This way you can open the lid and get everything out of the smoker, because what you need to build it is inside. And open up the smoker lid, and everything here is in boxes, which is great. Before, you kind of had to fumble through the foam and look for everything. Now it's all here. Your bottom shelf, which I know there was a change to this, the way it bolts to the bottom, and we'll show you that. Close the lid and put the packaging back in so we can flip it over for the next step. Make sure that this bag is tucked in so it's not wrapped around the grill. Close the box. This way we can flip it over to get the legs on. What we do next?
We gotta flip the grill over.
Emma, why is this grill upside down?
Because we have to flip it to get the grill out and put the legs on.
Oh, is that why?
Yes.
Okay. I think GMG should put an Easter egg at the bottom of this thing and said, "You did it right." And what I love about these is, Dr. Smoke does build a lot of smokers. And what's great is they give you a garbage bag. Comes with a garbage bag. As long as you keep it intact, put all your cardboard in the bag. Perfect. Like we did before, we're going to slit the sides. This way we can get our 10mm wrench in and tighten in the legs. Time to put the legs on.
Yep.
The legs do have studs on them, and this is a little bit different. So this does go together a little bit different than the Prime Pluses. Some of the newer Prime Pluses did have these stud systems. All the new ones that are coming out now have it. Basically, the bottom shelf just rests on the bottom of the leg now, and you don't have to bolt it. So these no longer have numbers on them, and there's a reason for that, is because now that these studs are on here, they have to face toward the inside. So your rolling casters go on the hopper side with your studs facing toward the inside. Your larger legs, which have studs sticking out both sides, and you want to make sure that the outside of the wheel goes to the outside of the smoker. Just like that. We got the 8 bolts, and we're going to go ahead and start these. You've got one on the inside and outside, so just go ahead and line everything up. And get everything hand tight. You can put both of these bolts in, but when you get to the front of the grill where the lid's at, you only want to put the one side in because your front shelf mounts when we flip it over. Again, you only need the one side of the front, and then your two in the back. So Emma, what do you have there?
I have a tool that GMG gives you.
And we're not going to use that today, but they do give you the tools required to put this together. We do a lot of them, so we're just going to use the impact driver. So Emma, what's next?
We're gonna lay the grill down on its back side.
All right. Now the easiest thing to do here at this point is to cut the one side of the box all the way open. This way you can open it up like it's a present, like a brand new GMG present. There it is.
Yep.
Now we laid it on the back side for a reason, and that's because we're gonna put the shelf brackets on right now. That's not in the instructions, but we find it a lot easier to do if it's right in front of you and easy to get to. Lay them here, and Emma's got 4 screws, 10mm bolts.
Yep.
Is once you grab the front shelf is just unfold the bracket on each side. And we're going to go ahead and lay this on and then start the bolts. And sometimes you do have to adjust these shelves. You just want to make sure that when you fold it down, it goes all the way down. As you can see, this one's not, so we have to loosen it and just make sure it's all lined up. So if you notice that the shelf doesn't close and go flat all the way down, you just have to widen this bracket a little bit. Just give it a little bit of a bend, and that'll kind of adjust it out. And now it should go flat, just like that. Build inside the grill first. Show you how to get your pellets in, your starter pack. You always want to make sure you put this in over the ceramic igniter. And that brings me to my next point. The ceramic igniter in this grill is fragile, so when you're vacuuming out this firebox here, down in here, that ceramic igniter it can break. And we've seen quite a few of them break that way. So be careful with the vacuum cleaner and that ceramic tip. Put the starter bag of pellets in. And what you want to do is just make sure that you cover the heating element with those pellets, and that's going to prime that auger because there's nothing in there.
I got a heat shield.
Heat shield, let's put it in.
Yep.
Okay, the Daniel Boone and Jim Bowie both have different measurements. The Jim Bowie's 9 1/4 off the wall to this side, and then you adjust it accordingly. And you always want to move this toward the heat. Let's say if you're cooking burgers, hot side's this side, you want to just move this a little bit toward the heat with the adjustment rod. Next, it's best to put the adjustment rod in so you can line it up. This goes in the side of the smoker, and then gets tightened in to the welded nut. Sometimes people put food grade grease on this so it doesn't lock up. Now Emma's bringing over the drip tray. And again, we usually do cover this with aluminum foil. Make sure you poke your hole through. This way that thermal sensor that is right here is always clear. Put it in at a 45-degree angle. Make sure that this is sitting on the ledges. And if you have aluminum foil, clear. This way it has good clearance for that thermal sensor. Let's put the grates in now, Em. I'm going to move this handle to the right side shelf on, bottom shelf on, and we are done. Use the bigger part of your wrench, 12mm, and loosen this handle and flip it around. Make sure that you've got 2 of the thermal isolators on the bolt, and then 2 we're going to go against the handle. It's a little tricky. 2 people does help. So we'll go ahead and just put them there. Put the bolt through. Same step for this. We'll go through, put the 2 isolators on, and tighten them up. Take the bolts out of the smoker, and I'm going to give these to Emma to hold. Unpack the chimney, get that out of our way, and then take that flange. Put it here, then grab one of the 10mm bolts. This is the smaller one. And we're going to put it in and just start this hand tight. And repeat for all 3. Now it's starting to look like a smoker, right, Emma?
Yep, definitely.
We're gonna put the side shelf on.
Yep.
And that's easy. It's just 2 pins that line up. Get that out of your way. And then we're gonna just slide it in. Take your shelf bottom bracket here and lock it in. Just like that. We have our bottom shelf, and like I said, this did change from previous models. It's just gonna lock down into the bottom of the legs. So we'll go ahead and slide it in and lock it down. To answer all the questions on the forum, this is the Handguard, and Emma's gonna show you guys how to put it in.
So come on over here. Open the box up. You take this part, make sure it's not on top of this. You gotta make sure it fits perfectly. Make sure it's down in there.
Now we've got a Wi-Fi antenna. Emma, do you want to put this on too?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and screw the Wi-Fi antenna on the front. Last but not least, we've got our drip bucket. And as you guessed it, this does sit on the side, just like that. And I think we are ready for a burn-in, little girl. What do you think?
Yes!
What are we making?
Burn ends.
Burn ends?
Yes.
Perfect. Please smash that like button, comment below, let us know what you'd like to see next. We're always happy to help.
Thank you from Dr. Smoke.